All right, we are live. All right, ladies, we are live here at the EmpowerHER Summit Media Day, and I have a current panelist and a past panelist who are also serving as committee members this year. So super excited to have both of you ladies on. I have Miss Angie Keating. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Miss Christina Sims.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, ladies. All right, so I'm going to have you all do a proper introduction. Like I said, this is a little bit informal, but I want you to give an introduction of kind of who you are and why you're here. So whoever wants to go first.
Sure. Well, since I was the former panelist last year, I'll go ahead and go first. I'm Angie Keating. I am CEO and co-founder of a company called Reclamier. We are a cybersecurity solutions provider based in Tyrone, Pennsylvania. We serve customers all over the United States. And I had the great honor of being a panelist last year, and it was such an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And I'm so thrilled to just be here to talk about it and cheer my new person on.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I know I missed the summit last year. I was in Africa, and Megan was just she was like, I followed everything, and I was so excited to be able to go this year. So I'm super excited. Yeah. All right. Chris, go ahead, give us your introduction.
Sure. My name is Christina Sims. I'm the founder and CEO of Precision Edge AI. We're a boutique AI agency built out of Jeanette, PA. We specialize in AI automation, literacy, and AI search visibility. And for me, I'm actually from Connellsville, PA, a little small town where you say there's more cows than people. And I missed the event last year too. And I was like, wait a minute, we finally have something home. So like, I'm usually used to traveling around, the nation speaking. And I'm like, I missed it right here.
Yeah.
So it's such a 360 experience to be invited to come to speak this year. So I'm really excited for that.
Well, we will be rooting you on. I'm so excited, especially, being on the panelist. And I know the attendees this year is supposed to be pretty incredible. So any advice you'd give this panelist? It sounds like she's an expert, or she's definitely been a panelist before and spoken, but at the summit, what were you feeling last year when you were, speaking to the group, and kind of how did you feel after?
Well, I think the number one piece of advice I would give you is be authentic. Mm-hmm. One of the things that really struck me was the number of women who came up and talked to me about just the power of my own story. I talked about founding a business and being in an unhappy marriage, and when that marriage fell apart, having an ex-husband that wanted half of my business, and I talked about how those struggles, they were real,
right?
And it was horrible. But I really was very authentic and put that out there. And at the time, I was terrified. My knees were shaking. But the number of women who came up to me afterward and told me what that meant to them, that was one of the things that...
Because they could relate.
Yes.
Right?
That my story had some kind of power for them. And then they shared their story with me, and we all just drew strength from each other.
Yeah.
And the EmpowerHER Summit turned me into a believer around women's empowerment. I come from IT. I'm used to spending my life having to work twice as hard to be thought of as half as good with just a male-dominated
industry.
field.
Yeah.
And so I always thought, I don't need any of this women's empowerment stuff.
Right. You're strong.
I'm
you
strong.
Can.
Yeah. So it just really made a believer out of me. We all have stories. We all have unique challenges, and being able to come together and share those and meet so many strong, incredible women was just so energizing. I think I was on a high for a good 90 days after. And I wish the same thing for you.
Yes. You loved it so much that you are coming back, and now you're on a committee.
I'm an attendee. I just get to come and have fun this year. I'm having a great time getting back with, all of my EmpowerHER girls, and, the planning of this has been wonderful, and reaching out to colleagues about sponsorships. It's just a great energy.
So what committee are both of you guys on? Do you know? or specifically?
So specifically for me, I actually will be helping with the AI development. We have a few surprises. So
AI is a hot topic, Chris.
It is, but I am not the girl that's going to tell you to do more with AI. I'm going to tell you how you can do less. So I guess save a little bit for that for July.
Yes.
So it is just so wonderful. I definitely can relate to that as a Black woman, having to work twice as hard, being in tech, and I also worked in sports at one point in time. So I think the story is so powerful because it's 22 times more memorable. So I think even from we all differently come from, it's amazing to see how much that we share in common. And so for probably many in the room, I know a lot of them probably knew my family, so it's going to be a 360 welcome home to come back, but also be able to talk about tech. I know me being from Fayette County, we're rural, so most people don't think about technology in our area, so I'm just really excited about that. And to be able to help women, be able to find out how we can find some more alignment in our lives using tech as well.
Yes. So I got to know, Chris, and I'm already calling you Chris. She goes, but Christina or Chris, she said, how did you get into tech?
So I've always been the nerd. I'll be honest with you. I've had a computer in my hand since probably before I could walk. But for me, I've always was doing automations. Originally, my background was in digital marketing, so I did marketing automations. Then I worked into operations. I was a COO of a digital marketing agency. But then I saw AI coming into the fold, and I'm like, I'm in marketing, so I see where this tide is going to turn real quickly. And so also I realized it was going to be something that impacted women. And that's the thing. Technology is a wonderful tool, but we as women are not always at the conversation. We're not at those tables. We're really being told to what to do with it and now being erased by it. And so for me, I'm really on a mission, a quest to empower and equip women, not only in their personal lives, but also in their careers. So we're not being erased by this new revolution that's coming.
So you are truly aligned with this whole summit and kind of what you're doing in your careers. Isn't that amazing when it all comes together?
It is. And for me, like I was laid off shortly after giving birth. I actually had to go back full time. I had an emergency C-section. My son almost passed away during birth. And so to be told then, if you don't come back, you're not going to have a job. I was like, wait a minute. I felt like I wasn't in control of my life.
Right.
And so then I was shortly laid off after that. And I was like, wait a minute. So I'm like, what's happening here? And I realized, in my story, I wasn't the author of it. And that was a problem for me. And so this is really aligned with that because I think we as women, no matter what's happening, whether it's divorce, whether it's illness, whether it's job change, I think we're in a time right now where there's a lot of shifts happening because of technology and because of just life shifts, things in society in general. How do we as women find our footing to take control and have the courage and feel safe to do that? Because I think a lot of times we're told we have to be strong. I know as a Black woman, that's usually our banner. But I know for women, that's kind of in general. We're told, whether we're moms, we're daughters, we're wives, having to carry that weight. And I think I'm really looking forward to the fact that we get to let that go here.
Right. And we get to let it go. And I think what you both are doing is sharing your story. And I do a lot of that, whether it's podcasting. I too have a nonprofit. I'm also in the sports world now too. That's a global, but So, but like sharing your story and my biggest, I think what I'm most passionate and purposeful, I want to inspire other people because for whatever reason, we're raised, you're strong, figure it out. You don't talk about it. You don't ask for help. You don't see a therapist. You don't do those things. We don't do that. And then and guess what? You do need to do those things. And I personally am in my third or fourth career, I'd say now. But we're still navigating the journey. But while I'm doing it, I want to inspire other people to do the same thing. Why are you waiting? Why are you, I feel like we're at a point when I graduated college, well, that was your degree. That's what you do. Yep. There is no, that's what and you do that for the next 30 years. Wait, what? And now for me to think about that, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, when I graduated college with an electrical engineering degree as a non-traditional student at 30 years old, cybersecurity didn't even exist.
Yeah.
And, and like you said, we have to be strong and don't ask for help. And I grew up in a very blue collar, poor family of farmers and truck drivers. And you don't ask for help. Mm-hmm. You just suck it up and you keep going.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons I'm so excited to hear what Chris has to say is just in the little bit that I've spoken with her here, she is talking about AI in a very responsible, reasonable way.
Yeah.
And working in cybersecurity, we are constantly dealing with clients that want to basically turn these things loose in their businesses, thinking that it's the next greatest thing. And, AI turned loose in a business, especially if it's a regulated industry, which is what my company, Reclamier, specializes in. It's kind of like giving a toddler scissors and a butcher knife and letting them run around the house.
Yeah.
It can really do an incredible amount of harm. And on the other side, hearing her speak as a mother, I'm terrified of what is going on with AI and our children. It took us 10 years 100%. To figure out what harm social media did. It is going to be way faster. We're going to find out the harm that AI is going to be doing to our children and vulnerable people. So I'm very excited to hear her speak.
Yeah, I echo that. I have a kindergartner this year, so I'm like, I need to know, especially now there's like, we need to get this into schools. And so I'm like, okay, my eyeballs on this immediately, because we do a lot of heavy governance with what I work with, is there needs to be guardrails.
Yes.
And first I was like, wait a minute, are we creating Skynet here? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. I think people have this hall pass feeling with it, like, oh, but it gets this off my plate. But I'm like, where is your soul? Because now you can go online. I can sniff ChatGPT a mile away. We all know that the buzzwords. And it's like, well, who are you now? And that's my fear is, especially as women, us, it takes a long time. I think now I'm 38 years old, am really stepping back into my own post-motherhood. And after that, he's in school now. So I was like trying to refigure out what is me, picking back up my career. And I see so many women now giving that away. You're seeing the avatar. So now we're trying to guess, is this real or not? And I'm like, but what about you? What do you like?
Right.
What is our conversations happening? Because now they're talking about, most people talk to ChatGPT more than each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for that. I think this is going to be a really great thing. I'm really excited. People kind of, I want to say, like Easter eggs with the technology we're using for this event, but it's not what most people think. It's not to really dive into it. It's how do we start really leaning into each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think authenticity is going to be the currency of the next decade, because my sales staff will go to conferences and they'll come back and they'll say, there's this amazing thing that we could use and we could do exponentially more business by doing this thing with AI. And I said, but that's not authentic.
Right.
Our clients are going to smell that a mile away. They're going to see right through it. And last July, I had a car dealership. I was interacting with a bot and ended up buying a car. And when I went to sign the documents at the BMW dealership, I said, I wanted to say hi to Brandy. She was so helpful in getting this deal across the finish line.
No.
And I wish my rep had said, oh, she's out. She's on PTO today.
Yeah.
No. Oh, Brandy's our AI account executive.
Oh, my.
I went back through those emails. I've used them now in presentations and seminars to show people, look, your client or your customer feels like an idiot when you do this to them.
Right.
And so, I've said to my business partner, I've said to our staff, we are never going to make our clients feel the way I felt. It really ruined a bucket list experience of my BMW buying.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the pinnacle of your professional life.
Yes.
I get to buy a BMW. And then I just left there and I just felt so stupid and I just felt angry.
Yeah.
And I knew we would never do that to our clients after having that done to me.
I can resonate with that so well. I know I'm going to get beat up with those in my industry. I don't have any bots. If you email me, it's me.
Yeah.
That's why you'll wait probably 2 business days. But that's the fact, because, you can't have that kind of story. I'd be kind of curious if you asked her, so where are you from? Which she would have said.
Exactly.
But or what kind of story? Because now when you talk about authenticity, like, I'm a tomboy. So, I'm mad I missed the draft. So, with that aspect, when you can't have that. I think we're losing that relationship. I'm definitely the queen of, I'm asking for the operator when I'm like, nope, I don't want to push one. Bring me to a human.
Yes.
We're yearning for that. We came out of COVID and it was like, okay, now we're back outside. And now it's like, wait a minute. Now you want us to talk to a machine?
We don't want to talk to them.
No.
We don't.
So I echo that. I don't like speaking to them either.
Yeah.
But, it does give me some hope when I talk to my son and his wife, who are, planning to start a family. And they are very much against screens. And this is the kid that, he stayed in touch with his Army buddies through Call of Duty. And, he was never that kid sitting on the couch gaming, but, he definitely grew up with a computer and screens in his hands. They don't want their kids having anything to do with screens.
Yeah.
And so I think that, again, like everything, moves back and forth and goes from one extreme to another, I find it comforting that, some Gen Z folks are kind of thinking, I want to do it differently. I don't want
Or we want to go backwards a little bit.
The day I sell my company is the day I throw away my iPhone, I throw away my watch, and I go back to a flip phone.
Yeah.
I'm done at that
Love my
point.
flip phone. I had a Razor.
That was the best phone ever.
Oh my gosh. Well, ladies, I'm so, now I know why both of you were past panelists, future panelists. I'm so excited. The information that you guys have, and you can just tell the experience that you've been through. And I know so many ladies there are going to be so inspired and empowered. I can't wait. So we have a lot of listeners here. Any advice or feedback that, one reason you think that they should come to the summit? Give them a one line, or what's something that you think that they're going to get out of it?
I'm going to say prioritize yourself. And I think that we as women, we don't do that. So this is a time to finally pour back onto you. It's in beautiful Seven Springs where you're finally stepping away from the noise. You're able to put everything else down and pick yourself up.
That is phenomenal. Absolutely. My advice is come to this conference and be empowered to go back into whether it's your personal life, your professional life, but don't be afraid to expect men to do better.
Yeah.
Better parenting, better bosses, better leaders, better coworkers, and do not accept, we work in tech, that kind of brosphere, tech bro mentality that is out there. Expect better and demand better, and come to this and be empowered to do that.
And part of getting to that point is having the confidence to do it. And that's what I know I host different events and help women face their fear and gain confidence, because they don't know how to get there.
Right. And I want to be very clear, not all men.
Yes.
There are incredible allies and incredible advocates. My business partner, my husband, I'm sure you have strong men in your life that support you as well.
I do.
But there are some out there that really just throw the roadblocks up and make life very difficult.
Yep. And some women too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Demand better from them too.
They won't be at the summit.
No, they won't. That's true.
They're too good for that. They won't be there. But thank you, ladies, so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you all at the
so
summit.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.